And this is the 26th of January 2016, and welcome to episode 12 of season 3 of A Brief History of Nothing. I'm James.
Okay, what happened on this day?
Right, what happened on this day? In 1778, First Fleet lands
In Sydney Cove.
at Sydney Cove.
And the colony of New South Wales is begun.
Pretty much, yeah, from that point on. 1808, Governor William Bligh was overthrown in the Rum Rebellion. It happened in...
Yes, he was
Sydney.
trying to crack down on corrupt officers, and they didn't like their business being interrupted. Right.
Rude of him.
Okay, 1863, Abraham Lincoln replaced General Burnside as the general in charge of the Army of the Potomac, which is essentially the head of the Union Army, with General Joseph Hooker. 1883, General Gordon was killed in Khartoum, which is near Sudan, by Sudanese followers of the Mad Mahdi. In 1964.
84 people were arrested in an anti-segregation protest in Atlanta, because at the time, black people and white people couldn't go to the same bathroom. It was pretty crazy in a lot of areas in the South
Yes,
at the time.
yeah.
So
2013, several tornadoes started between Gladstone and Bundaberg and ripped through that area. Tornadoes in Queensland, Australia are very rare, but they do in fact happen.
So just US, we get them too.
Yes.
We know the feels.
We know the feels, we just don't get them as often as you do.
No.
Okay, now, as previously mentioned, today was the day that the First Fleet arrived in Australia, which is now being commemorated as Australia Day. I like the idea of Australia Day, I just don't like the idea of the date that they use.
Yeah, well, the Declaration of Federation was actually signed on the 1st of January 1901. That's when Australia became Australia.
So its first day as a nation was January 2, 1901. That seems like a pretty good day to celebrate Australia Day.
Yeah, that
I
seems...
know this is very controversial because people don't like change, but if I was an Indigenous Australian, I would feel like I'm having my face rubbed in it.
Yeah, a bit.
Commemorating the 26th of January when I got subjugated. So, just saying. This is... they want us all to join together. And also, if you... a lot of immigrants arrived in Australia post-World War II. The 26th of January has no meaning, no bearing for them.
I mean, what, the earliest, I think, our family is, what, World War One or something? Or after World War One?
Oh, well, one side of the family, my mother's side of the family, have been here since the 1830s, roughly.
Yeah.
And yes, my father's side of the family, my grandfather, his father came out in 1919. So I'm essentially a second generation Australian.
Yeah, so there's actually, even for you, there is no connection. Even for us, well, I should say, father and son and everything, there's no connection back to...
the First Fleet.
The First Fleet. This is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, so I think that it as far as for me, 26th of January is not an appropriate day to celebrate Australia Day.
No.
I would think the beginning of January is a more appropriate day to celebrate Australia Day, being as that was the day that Australia became a federated sovereign country instead of being 6 colonies. So that seems to be a more appropriate day. But hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to push my views down your neck, but I do like to express my views.
Yes. Now, you have a book review.
Yes, I have a book review. Now, this book is called Heroes of the Sky. It is by an Australian actor and TV presenter, Michael Veitch. For those in Australia, you might remember him from Fast Forward. He's also hosts the ABC's Sunday Arts program of Sunday afternoon. Now, his obsession growing up was aircraft and airmen of World War II, of which he writes. This book is all interviews of the surviving airmen, and of whom they're all in their 90s, and the oldest man he interviews is actually 98. And a very interesting read. He doesn't patronise these men, he just lays it out and lets them talk, and carries on and yes, and asks them how they adjusted back into society after the war. So if people related stories you find interesting, then you'll find this interesting. It's not just for those who like reading a good factual war story. Of the people in this book, every one of them is a very interesting person.
Yeah.
So I would strongly recommend reading this book. That's the cover. So yeah, go spend some money, go and buy it. You'll enjoy. If you like a good read, you'll enjoy reading that.
Alrighty, and our celebrity birthdays this week.
Yes, those what got born on this day.
Yes.
Yes. Now in 1497.
So just the other week.
Yeah, a few days ago, Emperor Gonara. If I murdered it, sorry.
Sorry, English is hard enough. Japanese, forget it.
Was born on this day. In 1763, Charles the 14th, King of Sweden and Norway, was born on this day. In 1880, General Douglas MacArthur was born on this day. Famous for saying that he will return to the Philippines. He also spent quite a bit of time in Brisbane because his headquarters are in Brisbane. During the war, he was relieved of a command in Korea when he wanted to bomb North Korea with nuclear weapons, and Harry S. Truman, the United States President, thought that was possibly a bad idea.
Yeah, just don't annoy Russia that much.
Yes.
We don't want Cold War getting hot.
Yes. In 1891, Frank Costello, Prohibition gangster, and if I remember correctly, he was a member of the
Al Capone gang.
Yes. Now, 1925, Paul Newman. Too many films to mention. Everybody, I think, knows Paul Newman as an actor and as a person that sells various salad dressings.
And I think he gives all the profit that he makes from that
goes into charity.
Goes to charity. So if you buy Paul Newman stuff, you're actually helping worthy causes.
Yes. Eddie Van Halen.
We all know.
Of note.
Yes.
He was born on this day in 1955. So Eddie's now 61.
Yes.
Ellen DeGeneres was born on this day in 1958.
Little known talk show host.
Little known talk show's host and partner, or wife, husband, whatever, of Portia de Rossi. Now, 1961. Probably the best known ice hockey player ever, Wayne Gretzky, was born on this day in 1961. We mention him because he's Canadian and Canada, you know.
Yeah.
We always mention something in Canada. Now, talking about Canada, 1993, a young actor by the name of Cameron Bright was born on this day.
Being in like X-Men, a few X-Men movies and a few other...
Yeah, other bits and pieces, yes. Okay, so that's us for another episode. If you like us, hit like. If you don't like us, inflict this on your friends to spread the word. Share. And we'll see you on the dark side. We've got cookies. Bye.
Bye.